Today I'm going to show you how to set up your grid preferences for your medication module in the new NextGen 6.2021. So I have the column set up here, and I'm going to show you how to set them up yourself. Of course, once we set them up, you can adjust the size of each column so that you can see what the headers are and see the information in the various columns as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit Grid Preference. I want to show you something really quick. So if you notice here, when I have my patient history toolbar here on the right, you don't see Grid Preference. Don't worry, you still have it. And this little trick applies to many things in NextGen. So if something isn't there, you might look at this little arrow here, and there is Grid Preference. It just means there isn't enough room on the screen as is. So you could either use that little arrow right there, or kind of pin this, or exit out to give yourself more room. So anyhow, we're going to go to Grid Preferences, and we're going to go to Set Columns to Display. And here on the right are the columns that are important to have in the medication module so that you can see what you need to see quickly and get the information that you need. So status is the first one. That is the medication active, inactive, or temporary. Samples, this will note if a medication is a sample, and as before, you're going to add information about a sample medication and additional prescription details. It's a little link at the bottom of this bottom section of the prescription where you can write the lot number and expiration. Last audit is really what has happened to the medication. Was it e-prescribed? Was it faxed? Was it printed? Or is it just entered into the med module, perhaps prescribed elsewhere? Quantity is how much was prescribed. Refills, how many refills you gave. This is a new feature called RX fill status. And a good way to think about this is like a PDMP for non-controlled substances. So when a prescription is filled by a pharmacy that participates in SureScripts and other the similar program, we will get a fill status notification. Medication name, SIG. Start date is when the medication was renewed or started. Provider who prescribed it. And then these are a few new fields that are really important. Prior authorization status, it'll say right in this column whether a prior authorization is in process, approved, or denied. Additionally, a prior authorization document will be any supporting documents that were uploaded or downloaded for a prior authorization appeal. Stop date and original start date. So just a reminder of how to get these things in this column. You're going to move them from the left side, pick add, and move them to the right side, and then move them up and down so that you get this description. So status, samples, last audit, quantity, refills, RX fill status, medication, SIG, start date, provider, prior authorization status, prior auth documents, stop date, and original start date. And once you have those, click OK. And then you might have to kind of play with this a little bit so that you get the information you need but don't waste too much real estate. Remember, you can scroll over to find more information. And if you decide that you want other information in your medication grid view, you can certainly go to Grid Preferences and add what you think will be helpful. All right, so this is how you should set up your grid preferences for 6/2021, the NextGen version that we are launching in June. Thanks so much. Take care.